In today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 brand new spring Easter DIYs. They are not only easy to make, but they're super elegant and really affordable. Keep watching. Hey, how are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Can you believe it's Sunday again? I do not know where the time is going, but it is almost time to get started with our spring decorating. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 brand new spring Easter DIYs. They are so easy to make, affordable, and very elegant. I really think you're gonna love them. Before we get started, I want to remind you that our selection of wreaths is now available on my Etsy shop, and there's going to be a link down below. And then also that there's going to be a QR code right here that you can snap, and it'll take you straight to my Instagram and TikTok if you want to follow along. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a bunny centerpiece. I'm going to be making a gorgeous statement for your front door and a small arrangement that you can just sit around the house to create a beautiful spring Easter feel with some carrots. So if you are interested, be sure to stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends, well, because it is free and it really helps this channel. And then also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. While you subscribe, be sure to turn the notification bell on because you will not want to miss what's coming up for the spring season 2024. I feel like I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna take you guys to the studio and I'm gonna share with you how to create a gorgeous centerpiece with one of the viral bunnies in blue and white. I hope you like it. All right, everyone, so let's get started with our first spring DIY for today. And I'm super excited because we're going to use the same viral bunnies that you guys can see come in a variety of colors. You can call Shonora Design Center if you want to order some. And then also we've already done some wreaths DIYs that you guys have already seen here on the video. So today I'm going to make kind of like a centerpiece. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab a skewer and I'm going to put my skewer all the way down like this. I'm gonna cut a little bit of it, probably about this much. It is made out of styrofoam, so really it doesn't need that much security because it's super light. But just to keep it in place, I'm gonna go ahead and put it through the skewer. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of the greenery. This is some of my favorite greenery and it is from Walmart. And you know that I like to cut it all at once. So that way, well, it's easier that way. It's faster as well. How are you guys doing today? Are you having a blessed Sunday? Let me tell you, Sundays here are my favorite days because we get to read your comments and answer to your comments. So be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what is your favorite thing that you've seen here on the channel. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go lightly with my greenery. So I'm gonna start by getting closer to the bunny, and you have to really be careful with this type of greenery because it gets tangled up. So remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and then what goes up must come down. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and go across my foam. And for this particular DIY, I chose a basket because I thought, you know, spring and baskets, Easter decorating. So I just figured it would be super fun. All right, so we're going to add some greeneries, and remember that what goes up must come down. So for that, you have to make sure that you put some spillers. You know, floral design, it's all about the thriller, the filler, and the spiller. So that's why I'm always telling you what goes up must come down is basically the same thing. You have to find yourself some spillers in order to make your bouquet look cohesive. All right, so I'm going to poke one last one right here. I think that's good. I just wanted some greenery. I'm not gonna use all of it. I'm gonna put some to the side because, you know, I always like to save some of those greeneries for the end to kind of go back in and fill in if I have to. All right, so my first flower is going to be this white hydrangea, and I'm going to do a triangle. So this is the front, obviously, where the little bow is, and I just think it's super adorable. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna try not to cover the front too much with the hydrangea. So I'm gonna go one right here, and then I'm gonna cut this a little shorter too, and I'm gonna go all the way to the back for sure. And as you can see, I put it a little bit higher than the other one. And then to create that triangle, I'm gonna put the other one over here to this side as well. And look at that, you can still see the front of the bunny. We have some hydrangea that is starting to cover some of that mechanics. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of these bushels from, it's a hyacinth. This is from Walmart as well. You guys, Walmart has some really good florals. for what they are. You know, sometimes you get what you pay for, but if you are a DIY or a crafter like I am, then sometimes they do have some really good variety of florals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one right here to my right, and then remember, what goes up must come down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter, and I'm going to go down like this. Remember that by adding a few florals together, you create more of a focal point, and it starts to fill in our floral basket better. And then, like I say, it shows better as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spin it right here so you guys can see. So what I'm going to do is I put one facing up. So now I'm going to do one facing down, making sure that goes into the foam. And if you know me, you know that I love the sound of the foam being poked. It's one of my favorite things. When I worked at the flower shop, you guys, I used to get my, I'll show you, I used to get my ear close to it because I love, can you hear that? It is just so much fun. Right, so I'm going to put another one right here before I take the tag off. And I'm going to add one right here, spilling forward like that. And for the front, I'm just going to add one right here to the front. Because remember, I'm trying not to cover so much of the bunny. And I love a monochromatic scheme. I think it is super beautiful. So now with this longer flower, it's a linear flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some height to my arrangement. I'm going to go right there. I'm going to do a fan, what we call a fan. So we're going to fan it out. As you guys can see, it's like cascading down. So now I'm going to get a little short one, and I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter. Now I'm going to show you a trick. You cut right here where the foliage is. So now you're left with a little flower to fan out like this, and then you're left with the greenery. We'll go ahead and poke it in because that kind of helps it to be a little bit more natural looking. As natural as silk flowers are going to look. I'm going to do the same over on this side. I'm going to add one right here. But on this side, I'm only going to do two. Once again, I'm going to cut right at the greenery. I'm going to put this guy right here. And then I'm going to add my greenery somewhere over on this side. Like this. And so for the front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut one in half. And I'm going to leave this one with the greenery, and I'm just going to add it right here. And then I'm going to add this other little one over here. Like that, to kind of create that color scheme all throughout my arrangement. You know what, I think I'm going to stop right here because what I want to do is I'm going to bring out some of these other blue flowers that I have over on this side. And I'm going to get rid of this guy right here. I just have a few of this hyacinth. I think it's actually a lilac. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to poke some of this lilac all throughout my bouquet. Let me see. I'm going to spin it around to kind of see where I'm going with it, like that. I'm going to bring some to the back. Remember, what goes up must come down. You have to have your flowers all throughout. So far, so good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my basket over to this side because I want to do a cute little burlap bow. I think a burlap bow, it is such a classic look for spring, especially if you're doing monochromatics. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold real quick. It's going to be something simple. I'm just going to do about an inch, 5-inch loop. I'm going to fold down. The secret here is to twist like this. And I'm going to do maybe a 3-loop bow and 2 tails. And you know what? To do another tail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down like this and fold. Now I'm going to do like that bigger loop, and I'm going to cut right about here. I put this to the side. So then what I want to do is I'm going to grab a zip tie. So I'm going to grab a skewer, and then also I'm going to grab, let's see, I have a zip tie over here. So I'm going to get over on this side, and then I'm going to grab one of these wires, and this is going to do the trick. So what you're going to do is you're going to zip tie your little bow. It is the easiest way. Thumbs up for zip tie, you guys. It is such a lifesaver. If you're a crafter, 2 things you need: your hot glue gun and your zip ties. Okay, so once you have it like that, you want to fluff it. You want to make sure that this longer tail goes down. Then before I cinch all the way, I'm going to introduce this little wire right here. Before I cinch it all. It's a little hard at the time. There you go. And do you guys talk to yourself when you're decorating and DIYing? I have that awful habit where I like talk to myself. as I continue to decorate. Right, then I'm gonna twist this guy right here. So what we're going to do with this loop going down, I'm going to cut it right about here. And so now, as you can see, we're gonna have some extra tails by having that extra loop. So I'm gonna just dovetail all of this guy right here. And then what I'm going to is I'm gonna grab my skewer and I'm gonna grab the wire that I've selected and I'm going to twist that wire into my skewer. And that's gonna serve us as a pick. And I'm gonna cut some of it like this. And so now we have a beautiful burlap bow. So what I'm going to is I'm gonna select maybe, let's see. I'm gonna put it right here on this side. I'm gonna insert like that. I'm gonna bring my tails. And just like that, you have a beautiful arrangement with hyacinths and hydrangeas and greenery and a beautiful bunny that I think is super adorable. What do you guys think? Aren't those bunnies absolutely gorgeous? You guys are so versatile. They look fabulous on the wreaths and they also look absolutely stunning in centerpieces, as you can see. Well, now I want to invite you to follow me on my Instagram and on TikTok. And as I mentioned to you, there's going to be a QR code right here that you can just snap with your phone and it'll take you straight there. Now I'm going to go back into the studio and I'm going to share with you how to create a super cute, super easy, and really elegant centerpiece with some carrots that I think you're going to love. Let's take a look. All right, you guys, so we're going to create a beautiful carrot arrangement using these beautiful gingham carrots. But before we get started, I want to tell you that I already went ahead and put a foam on this container, and what I like to do is add moss all throughout the perimeter of my container like this. And I want it to be a little wild. What mostly I'm trying to cover is the corners, so that way it doesn't look very harsh. And what I like to do is create these bobby pins and I put them on each corner to secure my moss. You can find this moss at Walmart. You know, if you've been following the channel, that this Walmart moss is my favorite because it is super easy to work with. And the way you make those pins is you get a wire like this. This is a 20 gauge wire. You cut it in half like this. And then you cut that half in other half. So you can get 4 of those pins, and then what you do is you just bend it in half and you create kind of like a bobby pin or an S pin. You also can find those at Hobby Lobby. I know they already sell them already made, so if you want to do that, you can. All right, so what I'm going to do after I have my container all prepped, I'm gonna grab my carrots and I'm gonna lay them the way I want them. So I'm gonna put one like this, and then I'm going to put another one like this, kind of spilling forward. So what I'm going to do now is grab my wire and I'm going to bend down probably like a third of it like this to create one of those big pins like this. And I'm going to poke my carrot. It's made out of fabric, so it shouldn't really be that hard to poke through them all. And then what you want to do is secure them to the foam, making sure that it goes through all the fabric. Sometimes you have to poke a few times. There you go. You can hear it pop like this. So that's gonna secure your carrots into your arrangement like that. How absolutely adorable is that? All right, so now that we have that, what I'm going to is I'm gonna cut some of my flowers, and for that I'm going to use this beautiful orange salmon bundle that I got at Hobby Lobby. I believe this is from Hobby Lobby. So I'm gonna cut some of those flowers real quick. I'm gonna use 3 of these larger orange ones. I think they're super adorable. They are, I like these bundles because they already have like all of the accent flowers that you need. So all you have to do is basically poke. You know, my technique is called poke and hope. You poke, 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 and then hope that it turns out just fine. And what I like about this particular bundle is because it has a lot of the greenery. As you guys can see, this rose has 2 layers of greenery. Isn't this just absolutely stunning? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab this flower. I'm gonna go right here, right in the middle, and I'm gonna use that as my focal point. And remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So immediately I'm going to go over to the other side, and I'm going to poke yet another one over here, like that. And then I'm going to try and now cover this corner right here, so that way you can really see those pumpkins. Listen to me, these carrots. Can you believe I'm thinking about pumpkins already? Well, that's because I was prepping some fall videos, and let's just not talk about that right now. It's way too soon. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these really pretty flowers. This is a ranunculus, and I'm going to add it right here, but I'm going to let it kind of stick out a little further out because I'm going to put some greenery that is really going to help me fill in this container like that. So I'm going to do two. Remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm going to grab this other ranunculus that I have, and look how cool this one has the greenery that you push up, and then it really makes your flower look absolutely full. So I'm gonna spin this around, and I'm gonna grab this right here like that. Remember, I'm trying to just have the carrots be the focal point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab maybe this other one over here, and I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to poke right here like this. And then it comes with this really super cute accent flower. It's almost like a delphinium, but it's orange or salmon color. And I just think it's adorable. So I'm gonna add some of this to the top right here, poking all the way down. You guys, these bundles are so good because it has all of the accent flowers that you really need to create a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous arrangement with only just one bundle. And they're super affordable. So you can really create something pretty for spring for not a whole bunch of money. And I'm always telling you that I like to save my money for spring and then really go crazy during the holiday season. And that's most decorators. We really do love the holiday season. All right, so then I have this thistle and some really pretty accent flower as well. I just absolutely love it. So I'm also going to add these guys right here to the arrangement. Looking for a place like this. And then remember, what happens on the right happens on the left. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Poking my thistle right here. Okay, so far so good. I love the way this is looking, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this David Christopher's greenery just to fill in the spots and then to give us some texture as well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and poke. You know, usually we add the greenery first, but in this case, I wanted to add it last to kind of just fill in with the greenery and to give me a lot of texture with it as well. So this is, like I said, from David Christopher's, and you guys, they really do have some of the best quality product on the market. And I just absolutely love, love, love their greenery and their flowers. And of course, their holiday collection. And I cannot wait to see what we're going to be doing this year with David Christopher's. All right, so I'm gonna add a few more here on the crown. I'm gonna add one over here, and I'll give you a close-up. All right, so this is the end result. How absolutely gorgeous this turned out, you guys. With the cute little gingham carrots, all of these beautiful flowers that are just so perfect for spring. I really hope that you liked it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment in the comment section below which flower is your favorite. I gotta tell you, this one right here is my favorite. It is so beautiful, and the carrots really do stick out and stand out, and I just absolutely love it. But I really want to know, what do you think? If you've been following this channel for any period of time, you know that I am crazy over rabbits and carrots for spring. And in our next video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to create even more carrot-inspired centerpieces, DIYs, and all kinds of projects for your home this spring season. Before we continue with our next video, I want to let you know there's going to be a video down below where you can learn how to create those beautiful bunny wreaths. In case you have not seen them, be sure to click on that link below in the description box after you're done watching this one. And so now we're gonna go back into the studio, and I'm going to share with you how to create a gorgeous statement for your front door. If you don't like wreaths or swags, this is going to be the perfect alternative for you. Let's take a look. All right, everyone, so for our last DIY, what I want to do is something absolutely gorgeous for my front door. You know, I'm always telling you, you only get one chance to make a statement on your front door. And last week, I shared with you how to create a beautiful wreath with a bunny in purple. However, before we get started with this, I want to share with you what the pink and the blue one look like. As you guys can see, those are absolutely gorgeous. And remember, they are now available on my Etsy shop. There's going to be a link down below. But this week, I wanted to do something different. And for that, I chose this basket that I have to continue with that spring theme. And so what I'm going to do is, first of all, I already put foam in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and cover the front of it with some of this greenery. And so I'm gonna just start adding this green all throughout my basket like this. And I just want to make sure that I cover the top and then also add some to the very top in the crown right here. So all you have to do is add some types of greenery, and don't forget that, remember, what happens on the right happens on the left, and what goes up must come down. So I'm going to use all of this greenery that I have. Once again, this is from Walmart. My favorite greenery they have is this eucalyptus, and as you can see, it's covering some of this. These are two of them. They get all tangled up. It's covering some of my basket and is getting me some height as well, because I'm going to add some flowers to this. So I'm going to add all of them, all the ones that I have. I could add more, but I'm going to stop right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these hydrangea, and I'm going to put one right here on the left front, one to the right, one to the left like this, and one in the very front right here. And as you can see, that help us cover. I'm gonna move this guy over to the left a little bit more towards this side to kind of cover all the way around the perimeter. So now that I have that, I have this blue flower. This is a hyacinth, and so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start right here on the corner, and this is going to go just in between my flowers, and I'm gonna show you a trick. So for this particular one, I have this extra foliage. This is the flower, how it comes. I have a foliage right here that is a hydrangea foliage. I always save all of those foliages, and I just add the flower to the foliage, and you will see that it all helped me to cover more of the perimeter. And remember, the more foliage you have, the more natural it will look. I'm gonna add one right here to the top, and I'm going to, let me spin this to me. I'm gonna add one over here to my right, and the rest of these flowers I'm just gonna add right here and angling them as well, and I'm gonna add one right here to the front. All right, so now I'm gonna get my statement flower, and I'll be right back with you. All right, you guys, so now this is what's gonna make it really, really fun. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna start adding some of this beautiful flower that is going to be really tall, and I want it to be as tall as possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and poke the tallest ones first, fanning it out like this, making kind of like a fan. And I really want it to spill forward as well. Remember, you have to have some filler, some thriller, and some spiller. So I'm gonna go ahead and go right here, adding that to my left. I want it to be really full. I wanted to, basically what I wanted was like all just this flower, but in order to make it look more beautiful, you kind of have to add some other accent flowers. But I'm going to cut so many of them. As you can see, it is starting to spill forward. I'm gonna add one right here to the top. You have to go in and out, back and forth, and make it fuller. So now I'm gonna grab my wire cutters to continue adding some of this flower right here. I'm gonna speed this up. You guys will see the end result soon. Keep watching. All right, so I've added most of my delphinium and some of my hydrangeas. So now I'm gonna show you a real quick tip. When you get closer to the rim of your container, what you need to do is you need to go down. I'm gonna share with you right here. You need to go down and go as far down as you can on the flower, so it kind of starts going towards the rim of your flower. So let me do it one more time over here. I'm gonna push it down. Instead of going in the foam, I'm gonna go down onto the container, so that way it looks like it's cascading down, and that's what's going to make it look even more natural. All right, you guys, so I made another one of the burlap bows. I think it is very cohesive. So what I'm going to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here on the corner and add this bow and just let it hang out like this. I'm gonna go put this in the door and show you a close-up, so keep watching. All right, everyone, so here is your close-up at this absolutely gorgeous spring basket in my front door. It is such a statement. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit so you guys can see what a beautiful statement this is. The secret here is to just use the same color flower, very monochromatic, and then also to add just a touch of burlap on this beautiful basket. I really hope that this was helpful. I cannot wait to read your comments, so be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know if this is something that you would try instead of a wreath on your front door. All right, you guys, so what do you think? Wasn't this super fun? I enjoyed sharing these 3 beautiful Easter spring DIYs with you in order to inspire you so that you can give them a try. If you do, be sure to come back and leave a comment down below and let me know which out of the 3 was your favorite and the most likely you would try this week. Be sure to come back every Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for a brand new video. Remember, there's going to be a video right here. You can click on it next with a bunny wreath so that you too can create that beautiful wreath, or you can just visit my Etsy shop. The link is going to be down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and as always, you can watch more videos right now. Until next time, bye.